Okay, guys, so remember that chapter 2 is about properties of matter. In 2.1, we talked about the different ways that you classify matter or the classification of matter. And in the next two sections, we're going to talk about the physical properties of matter as well as the chemical properties of matter. So, by definition, a physical property is any characteristic that can be observed or measured without changing the actual composition of the substance. So what it means by that is that you can observe or you can measure this property, but it doesn't actually change what the substance is made out of, okay? So you won't change the actual chemical formula of what the substance is made of. So for instance, physical properties of water, I wouldn't change the chemical composition of water. It would still be H2O, all right? So a lot of this section is vocab. So let's go through the list of the different words in this section and what they mean. So the first one is viscosity. That's how you pronounce this word, which by definition means a liquid's resistance to flow or resistance to flowing. It has a note on the bottom here that says the greater the viscosity, the slower the liquid flows, and vice versa. So the less the viscosity, the faster it flows. So for instance, something like water would have a very low viscosity because if you spill water, it doesn't resist flow. It flows really fast. It comes right out of the glass and goes everywhere, right? But something like honey, on the other hand, which is technically still a liquid, right, has a very high viscosity. It has great resistance to flow. If you spill a jar of honey, the honey's not going to come out right away. It's going to take a while for it to start to flow and to start for it to ooze out. The second term is conductivity. This is the material's ability to allow heat to flow through it. So examples that would fit well for conductivity would be like metal versus wood. If you've ever cooked anything on the stove before, like a soup, you usually use a wooden spoon to stir it, right? You don't use a metal spoon. The reason you do that is because metal has a very high conductivity. Heat flows through metal very easily and your hand would get burned. Whereas wood has a low conductivity. So it takes a while for that heat to flow through unless you let it sit there for a while. The third term would be malleability. This looks a lot like the word mallet, which is how I remember it, because it has to do with a hammer. This is the ability of a solid to be hammered without shattering. Okay, so something that's not malleable, something that's brittle, an example would be like glass. If you hit glass with a mallet, it's gonna shatter into a million pieces, right? But if it's something like a metal and you hit it with a hammer, you can bend it and you can shape it and form it. It's malleable. Another physical property would be hardness, determining how hard or how soft a material is. The way that you test that is that you could scratch the two materials together to determine which one's harder. Whichever one does the scratching is harder than the other one. For instance, diamonds are the hardest substance, so that should scratch everything if you use a diamond against something else. Two other ones are both melting and boiling points. It lists some examples on here. Okay, it says the temperatures at which substances melt or boil. That's an okay definition, but you don't usually like to use a word to describe a word, right? We should know what melt or boil means. So what does melting point actually mean? Well, the melting point is the temperature at which something changes from a solid to a liquid. Okay, so it melts. That's these for this. As you'll notice, you have to have a really high temperature for gold to go from solid to liquid. The boiling point is the temperature at which something goes from a liquid to a gas. Okay, and as you'll notice again, you have to have a really, really high temperature for gold to boil or to get gaseous gold. Another physical property is density. This is a very important one because we usually identify a lot of materials and what they are by density. Density, by definition, is the mass divided by volume. So it's how much matter an object has divided by how much space an object takes up. You could use density to test the purity of a substance, or you could try to identify a substance using the density. So if I don't know what something is, I could try to determine its density or its mass divided by volume to determine what that substance might be. Okay. Now you'll notice at the bottom here it says most dense substances will sink, whereas less dense ones will float, which is how they have layers here, because they put different substances in there, and the one that was most dense, the yellow one, ended up on the bottom, and the lightest one ended up on the top. It's similar to like if you have wood in water, Wood, as you see on here, is less dense than water, so wood floats, but ice is more dense than water, which is why ice sinks. Okay? Same thing with aluminum, lead, gold, etc. All of those things would sink in water because they're more dense. Some other physical properties also include color, shape, texture, mass, volume, and weight. Those are different ways we can identify materials. So what do you use physical properties for? Well, one thing I mentioned that's very important, you use them to identify materials, right? We can use density to determine what something is. You could also use physical properties to separate the substances of a mixture. We'll talk about some examples of that in a second. And you could also use it to choose a material for a specific purpose. Maybe you want a material that has certain qualities. So you look at its physical properties to determine what that material you want to use would be. Here's what I said when I talked about this one, separating substances in a mixture. You could separate mixtures through two things. You could use filtration or the distillation process. Filtration is like if you or your parents make coffee in the morning, you separate the mixture based on the size of the particles, right? You put the grounds in the coffee filter, you run hot water through it, all the good stuff goes through the filter because it's small particles. All the other stuff that you don't want in your coffee, like the coffee grounds, stay on the other side of the filter because they're larger particles. That would be the filtration process. Distillation, that's like boiling salt water and turning it into pure water or purified water, right? You're separating substances based on their boiling points. Since the water has a lower boiling point than the salt inside of the water, you could boil the water off and let that water reform in another container where it's purified and leave all the salt behind. That's the distillation process. Some other things about physical changes. In physical changes, some properties change, but the composition always remains the same. So even though some of the properties might change, it's still going to be made up chemically of the same elements or compounds, molecules, etc. Some physical changes are reversible, some are irreversible. We'll talk about some examples of that in a second. That anything that's a phase change, so changing from a solid to a liquid or a liquid to a gas, is considered to be a physical change. So ice melting into water, that's physical. Water boiling into water vapor, that's also physical. Here's examples of reversible and irreversible physical change. If you are to braid your hair, that's reversible, right? You can undo the braids and return your hair back to normal. It's a physical change because you're changing your hair. Another one that's irreversible, cutting your hair. That's also a physical change. You're not changing the composition of your hair at all, just like in the braiding, it's still made of the same stuff, right? But it's irreversible. Once you cut it, you can't restore it back to what it was before, exactly the same, right? You gotta wait for it to grow again. And that's it. That's everything about physical properties.